Thank you for choosing the First and Framerates podcast. I am your host of VF Baller, my two co-hosts, Bills and DJ, and we always talk about sports and sports gaming. You can find all of us on Twitter. My Twitter handle is VF Baller. Bill's Twitter handle is Bills4th, and DJ's is DJ81. You can also follow this podcast on SoundCloud. Just search us on SoundCloud. You can also search us on iTunes. We're also on iTunes. And a few days after this podcast go up, we'll be on YouTube as well. That will be under the Silent Gamer YouTube channel. So you can always find us on there and just give us plenty of feedback. We ask for you to subscribe and enjoy the show. All right, what's going on, everybody? This is episode number 43 of the First and Framerates podcast. I am your host, VF Baller, and today we have DJ81. Also, we have Spectacular Pooh. I know last time DJ got on me how I called out Pooh's name, but anyway, we're here, and we have a handful of topics that we're going to talk about today. First and foremost, before we get into those topics, let's introduce everybody. DJ, let everybody know what's going on with you.
Well, everything is going on just right. I took several shots of Yukon Jack, so it's about to be lit in this podcast. You know what I'm saying?
Alcoholic.
Not really.
All right, and Bills is not with us today. He had a prior engagement, so he's not going to be with us today. But we do have.
Damn, that sounded like he passed away.
I said a prior engagement.
He's not with us today. It's
yeah,
like, oh God,
yeah, he's not with us. Yeah, he had a prior engagement. What you want me to say?
Yeah.
We have Spectacular Pooh with us. He's been on the podcast before, and he's going to share his thoughts about today's topics as well. Pooh, what's going on with you?
Doing good, just playing on the Switch at the moment. Don't mind me.
He's still playing on
talking with you.
Quality game, what's it, Monster Hunter?
What they say?
Yeah, Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, Splatoon 2.
Yeah, they say playing
on
Smash
Bros. Ultimate.
What they say, DJ, playing on lowered and low settings?
The low minimum requirements.
Right.
Hey, look, man.
For a handheld device made in 1980.
Hey,
look, man, graphics don't mean shit.
Hey, whatever whatever works for you, man. Whatever works for you. Whatever works for you.
Nah, bro.
Anyway,
I can play Halo 1.
All right, we got plenty of topics, man, and I think the first two are going to be really interesting. IMV Gaming put out a press release today about about the update of their game. We also want to talk about some NCAA football news. Well, not necessarily news, but I came up with a pretty interesting question about NCAA football. Like, do we really want another game? Can we really sustain having another NCAA game? If you look at what's going on with Madden, you see how people treat Madden, NBA Live, NBA 2K. And I'm not really talking about outside of the community because we don't know what they think. But the people in this community, can they really tolerate another sports title such as NCAA football? And also we're going to talk about Operation Sports. Operation Sports has been sold to another entity, and we're going to talk about a few of the scores and highlights of the NFL like we normally do. But first, we're going to talk about IMV Gaming, man. This has been going on for...
Here we go.
This has been going on for 2 years now, man. These guys promised to come out with a college game, and a lot of quote unquote backing's been going on with them. A lot of stuff been going on behind the scenes. Claim to have a lot of money that's been raised for this. I don't know anything about the fundraising part. I haven't seen them on any fundraising site. I honestly I can care less. But anyway, they had a press release to come out that's basically saying that they're going to have some more delays. I didn't read the whole thing, to be honest with you. It just the few things that I pulled out from it just basically just saying that they're basically taking the money that they had and there's no refunds. They're going to pass out whatever there was supposed to be given to the people who gave money.
Thank you cards.
Yeah, basically, it was basically like a thank you card. I really can't think about reading this because everything about this just seemed like a shady practice. DJ, you read this more than I have. Could you give us more insight on what's going on here?
Okay, so I really been watching this charade go on for about pretty much 2 years, like you said, and like I'm sitting there, I'm reading through the first paragraph. The last sentence raised my eyebrow, and basically it reads, it basically talks about like they're beginning their next round of funding. Okay,
hold on. Before you even say that, and I know when you said going to that last sentence of that paragraph, I'm looking at it now because, like I said, I didn't read too much of this, but when I look at it, they're saying that they're going to the next phase of funding, but that first phase saying that they're closing inside a program and they're no longer processing refunds. So basically, they're just taking the money and whatever you got, if anything, it is what it is.
That's basically what raised my eyebrow. But yeah, that next round of funding, they're like on round like 10 at this point because they started out if my memory serves me correct, they started out as what is it? I forgot that one from GoFundMe. I think they started out as a Kickstarter.
Right.
I think they started out as a Kickstarter, and then it evolved into something else. And then they're talking about, oh, we got these T-shirts, we got these, and then they start marketing like possible college teams with these fake college names. You know how NCAA started out with the
team
college
builder
station and stuff like that, as far as like the team names and they had like concepts that they put out there for people.
And see, this is when I started paying attention to them. I didn't know about the Kickstarter. I started paying attention when I saw the helmets in the body, the builds.
Yeah, the concept art.
Yeah, the concept art.
Yeah, the concept builds. Yeah.
So
no,
go ahead.
Yeah, so the fact that, let's see, it also reads to address the capital needs to create our flagship product. So my whole thing is that they talk about flagship product, but what other games have they even thrown out there that they think they're going to make when they don't even have right now, as we said, and I remember saying this, I think on the Sim Standard podcast ways back when IMV Gaming popped up, and I've even thrown some questions to them, and I've had fanboys come at me because of it, talk about I'm a hater and stuff like that. But hey, it's your money that this group is using, taking, whatever you may call it. But it's like they have been doing this without showing any gameplay.
I didn't see nothing.
Any thought of gameplay.
I ain't see nothing. And they claim that I think they claim they got over some millions of dollars or something like that.
Yeah, hold up. It reads right here. Well, they're talking about the expected. Okay. These talks are ongoing and resulted in the company finding out that the capital needed to create a competitive, high-quality simulation football title would be larger than expected, exceeding 20+ million.
And then on top of that, they say our team worked with our financial strategists and investors to formulate a creative solution. So basically, they're trying to say they dealt with some type of investors to come up with this kind of money to make this type of game. Now,
my thing is who are these people? What companies? What investors? Who are they?
Yeah, but wasn't they with some type of development company that was making games to begin with?
Well, it was that company that did the lacrosse game. Let me see if I can look that up. It was, let's see.
Well, while you look that up, Pooh, what do you think about all this?
I still feel like everybody's getting scammed.
just point blank, you think it's a scam?
Yes. I'm not sugarcoating shit. I'm not that kind of person.
Oh no, I'm with you. I feel like it's a scam too. It's like whoever put money into this, I don't see how they're going to get anything on their return. I mean, first of all, they already said they're not processing refunds. So it's like if you didn't get your refund because you thought it was some bullshit, now you're just SOL out of that. I mean, you're shit out of luck. There's no way around it. So
why you would even donate money to that in the first place? With your desperate ass, keep your fucking money. Go play. Go get an old game, old nice football game, and stick with it.
I mean, seriously, there are so many games out here to get. I mean, even just college-wise. I know there haven't been a college game out since 2013, but still, there's been plenty of games that you can just go out and play and have fun instead of just sending money to these people on a dream thinking something's going to happen. I think the closest thing we saw to gameplay was that one little small clip where they had like the crowd rushing the field or something like that. And that was so far away. It made NBA Live 14 early screenshots look good. So I mean,
look, this is all I can put from this. I'm sorry to cut you off. This is all I can put from this. That money that those people donated to, you could have spent, another. You could have spent that money on another good game, another good football game from back in the day or something like that. You could have saved up your money and had something more worthwhile that you'll say it's worth it for, not for having something that could potentially happen.
Okay, when you look,
if I'm gonna get it, I'm like, I want it to be good.
Okay, I'm about to go down. I'm about to go down further on this press release. It says to all our insiders, they want to send a special thanks because they made all of this possible, whatever that is. All physical rewards for insiders will now be processed. So I don't know what the physical rewards are. Maybe you get like a T-shirt, a hat,
T-shirt.
Yeah, probably
shoe program.
Probably
that's
some,
what they.
Yeah, probably some wristbands and socks or whatever. Even if you're probably going to even get that, they're still going to send that out later, January 2019. Now, mind you, wasn't this game supposed to come out in 2019 or something like that?
Burn it.
Originally, they had announced that this game was gonna, I think, not necessarily come out in 2019, but at least be in development to where they could show something by 2019. But right now they don't have so right now they don't even have a studio that they're working with, and they were originally supposed to be working with Cross Studios. That's the studio was making the lacrosse games.
Okay.
But
now, if you look on their Twitter feed now, somebody asked, "Are we no longer expecting the 2020 release date?" Mm-hmm. And the response to that, they said, was to be determined. We'll be able to provide a more accurate update regarding the release date once the development partner has been isolated.
And y'all releasing shirts and shit? It's like, come on, man. This is Joe Montana. This shit written all over
it. This is First of all, all right, Pooh, calm down, calm down. But anyway, this is bigger than this. To me, it just seems like it's a bigger scam than what Joe Montana. At least Joe Montana, they didn't take people's money.
Right, exactly.
People sold their souls to Joe Montana, but ain't nobody give away thousands and thousands of dollars. That's how much has been given to
I've heard
this group.
Yeah, I heard this group that got almost over $2 million now at the minimum. They probably got more than that.
Yeah, because they were talking about they had reached what was it? They said that they had a developer. This was what I remember. They had a developer, and what that developer asked them was to come up with half of the funding.
Okay.
And now it's different. It's not even half the funding since we're no longer working with the developer. It's just like the story has kept changing. It's an ever-evolving charade. It's okay, how long can we keep these people? How long can we keep this fish on the hook?
I got a question.
What bait are we going to use this time? I'm sorry. It just seems like with IMV Gaming, it's to the point where you need to let these people know you're taking their money.
Basically.
You're taking their money.
That's what they said in the first paragraph.
Yeah, it's like we're taking your money. You're not getting it back.
So what? This doesn't make any sense. I'm going back to that tweet. It said, "We will be able to provide a more accurate update regarding the release date once the development partner has been isolated." How can you come up with a release date when you isolate a development partner? That's like the person you've been dealing with as far as actually making said game. How could you come up with a release date? Because once you get rid of them, you have nothing once again. I don't know. I mean, this shit is stupid. I don't know.
Well, I tell you what, you must have immaculate vision to be able to not see that this is a scam. This is just horrible.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Now, okay, I will say this. I will continue to leave it open that if they do produce something, but the thing is, no one should be giving them money at this point.
Right.
They need to produce.
I mean, at least with Joe Montana, he gave us a bullshit screenshot.
But even that
trailer.
Even that. You know what all this money could have gone towards? Access football. It could have gone towards the Canadian football game. And, all this money has been poured into this company that has yet to produce any type of gameplay. Hell, even the Smoothie guy has footage of his so-called football game, even though it's NCAA 12 or 11.
Yeah. I mean, it's something.
Right. But it's just like all that money should have gone to those games.
No, I totally agree, especially Axis. If anybody wanted to throw money at a game, Axis, that would have been the first one on my list. Because that guy, he basically started by himself putting that game on Steam, and it was just him by himself, him and basically Dollar Jr. It was like
think about it. $2 million plus or whatever the amount that people have been funding IMV Gaming. If that would have gone to Axis Football, I guarantee they would have been competing with Madden right about now.
Yeah, I think they would have been up there. Yeah, because he would have had the fun. I mean, dude basically made this game out of nothing. And kudos to him because I think he just got certification to be on Xbox One. There you go. For the people that were crying about, why is this game going to be on PC all the time? Why can't it be on consoles? Well, here you go. Yeah, what's your excuse now? Yeah, he got certification for PS4 earlier this year. Now he got on Xbox One. And you got to think, like I said, this is one guy, I think he's in North Carolina, started this game on PC, and if you saw the original Axis Football, everybody laughed at it. I threw money at it.
I laughed at it.
I mean, I couldn't do nothing but laugh at it. I mean, I gave him money to support it because I saw him actually trying, but the game was trash. Now the game is at least good enough to be on a console, but people are throwing money at this bullshit and you ain't see nothing.
Just and at the same time, they're talking. Okay, it also in this paragraph, going back to that sentence. Cutting into that sentence, the capital needed to create a competitive, high-quality simulation football title will be larger than expected, exceeding $20+ million. No. $2 million is really all you need when you got a game like Axis Football that's kind of nipping on Madden's heels.
Yeah, just trying to do something. Giving somebody an alternative, a playable alternative. I mean, I just don't get it. I don't have nothing else to say about it. These guys, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not gonna say the window is closed for me to see what they're gonna do, but I'm gonna continue to watch what they're doing. But to me, I would not throw money at this at all, and I smell scam. Yeah,
the scam meter has been on high alert for the last year and some change. It's just too many. The story keeps changing. I'm like, we had a developer. No, we don't have a developer. There was no update saying that the developer was no longer going to be doing the game. It was all of a sudden, we didn't have a developer at the beginning. It was like, wait a minute, didn't a second ago you just said you had a developer? So what's going on?
Right. Then they're gonna say they're gonna give you an update to the game when they isolate the developer. I just it's all over the place. Pooh, what's your thoughts before we finish?
I mean, you pretty much nailed everything else. I mean, all that money that y'all put into it could have went to other games, but y'all got thirsty.
These dudes can literally just run away because there's no more refunds
right
for the
now.
game. They can just run away and be rich and don't just forget all about this and they have all this money right now.
Man, that's all they did with that little press release. It was like, we're rich. We're rich, bitch.
We'll give you some T-shirts and socks. Have a good day. Oh man, I don't know. Speaking of NCAA football games, because IMV is supposed to be making one. I I threw this question up to the guys on the podcast about NCAA football in general. Like, everybody wants the game to come back, whether it be most people still talking about EA Sports making the game, or let's say, for instance, if 2K get in there and they want to make a game, or just anybody. But I was asking, I look at the climate of the community in general, and that's not to point the fingers at the community, but I'm just talking about just looking at how games are ran in this community as far as patches, updates. People get mad. People pointing fingers at the community is about liking the game, disliking the game, or going at developers. Do we really want another sports title, let alone NCAA football, to be in the mix? I mean, I know we all love the college football games, but let's be honest, with the climate of how games are ran now, with 3 weeks later a patch can come in and ruin a game and it's all for nothing. Do you think that we really would benefit from an NCAA football game? DJ, what are your thoughts?
No. First of all, people's attitudes need to change about the game. Yes, it is the climate, but we definitely don't need another football game on, at least another NCAA or a NCAA product, since IMV fucking around. So we definitely need to have better games currently. And there are people that make legit claims about these sports games, but you have I would say a majority that just go bonkers over the littlest things in each game. Like, you have people that don't even know how to play the game. All of a sudden, they're showcasing the game in the worst light, talking about, I can't pass the ball, I can't run the ball, the computer doesn't run the ball well against me.
Man, why you had to bring that up, man?
Because that fool, he unfollowed me, and he unfollowed you. I think he blocked.
Yeah, he blocked Bills.
I was just like, damn. I'm like, how you just gonna block him but unfollow us? Is that saying something? Are you scared? You more scared of us?
Bills
or you blocked the one you scared of the most, and yeah, Bills is that's the guy that everyone needs to fear.
I don't know. What you think, Pooh? What do you think? You think we need this? Honestly,
no. I mean, shit. You might as well just stick to NCAA 14. As far as I'm concerned, the game is still fine like a wine 4 years later. I'm sorry, 5 years later.
I still love the game, honestly. But I personally, I would like to see the graphical side of the game. I just don't want the game to be. Like I said, the game. I don't like. This one thing I kind of distance ourselves. I'm glad we all have kind of distanced ourselves from the sim community per se. Like I said, I love what we're doing over here, because we don't just talk about sports all the time. We do talk about other games, but it's just that we see it all the time where people are just frustrated. And I can't speak for the people outside of the Twitter sphere or outside of the community, the casuals that we don't know about that go to GameStop and just buy the games, but for the most part, these people are just constantly badgering for another game. But when they get it, or if they get it, I feel that they're going to treat it just like how they treat Madden, or how they treat NBA 2K, or how they treat Live. It's like,
this is where I get worried with that. From what you just said, this is why that is part of the reason why I don't want another NCAA football game. But another thing is, remember what we was talking about with Madden 19 when the game first launched, and we said that the game was good and everything, and then after that, as months passed, we found out it's not really as good as we once thought it was. That's why I really said we really don't need another one.
Right,
because
that's what I'm saying.
It doesn't have any staying power with these football games now.
And I think that's the main thing. It's not necessarily the community jerk, because community basically reacts to what happens, and it's just that if you have a group of people that want to complain about something being too real or too sim, or they can't do this, they can't do that, 9 times out of 10, the developers of these games listen to them, and the game becomes not the way that it looks. It looks like a simulation game. The game looks beautiful. Don't get me wrong. It looks like something you'll watch on TV, but it plays like some arcade mess. So it's like, why? Honestly, it's just that when you look at the fun factor of it, when you look at the simulation factor of it, I just don't think that the community in general would benefit from it. They just find something else to complain about. And DJ, am I right on that?
Yeah, it's like it's human nature to be negative about a lot of things, especially stuff that you don't understand. And I think a lot of these people that have something negative about these games, they don't understand, what's in front of them. Like I said, you got people that are out here that don't know how to play the game, don't know how to utilize certain modes, don't know how to practice, take the time to practice. That's why they have those modes in there, so you can get better at the game, or use certain difficulty sliders to turn the game down so you can learn and build a solid base and then grow up from there. I'm like, the game is not the same game it was 5-10 years ago, so you can't just hop on and play anymore. Well, I think people want to continue to do that.
Yeah, see, that's what I think. That's the problem. Is just the fact that people just find, like you said, people are negative. They find something wrong with the game. If the running game's not right, the stiff arm isn't right, the passing's not right, and it's not necessarily something wrong with it. If it's just not catered to their liking, because a lot of people tend to like games when they're good at them. If they have to work and play the game, then there's a problem. Like, I can understand if you're playing a shooter, or if you're playing a racing game, or if you're playing like an action adventure game, those type of things could be frustrating. But when you're playing a game that's representing the sport that is trying to simulate, we're trying to get this game to play like we see in real life. I mean, that's the way it is. I mean, if you want to play NBA 2K, that game plays like basketball. That's the way it should be. Live should play like basketball. If you want to play these other games, go play NBA Jam. Same thing with Blitz. Go play Blitz if you want some craziness to go on. And I think I think that's where people get they don't understand what we're trying to accomplish. It's like, if it's sim, it should replicate the sport. If you're not good at it, you need to learn the sport. That's why I love it. That's why I love NHL. NHL make you learn the sport, and all these other games should be that way.
And to tell you the truth, the game, like, just to go to NHL, the game itself isn't totally sim, but like VF just said, there are videos that teach you the game of hockey. For those, I mean, I know a lot of people coming out of the community that we used to be a part of, they don't expand beyond the typical sports, whether it's, okay, most of the community, football. I don't see nobody else really playing hockey or soccer when they're the better games.
I agree.
Expanding into baseball. I did a video like years ago where it was just like, why are we stuck on this one game? I know football, everyone loves football. It's like the number one sport in America. I get it. But come on. You want to have fun this fall? You want to have a sim sports title? You need to learn about these other sports. Play the soccer. Like, I re-subscribed to Axis Origin Premier, and I'm playing FIFA 19. It's a beautiful game. You guys need to expand your horizons. That's why everybody's so negative, because they have nothing positive to play with, because they keep themselves with this one game. And this game it's improving at a snail's pace. Let's just call it for what it is, as far as Madden is concerned. But there are other sports games that you can use as an example, and you can play to get your sim fix and stuff like that. You don't need to be. The gaming community needs to not be stuck on one game. You guys need to evolve. I said this 5 years ago. I'm like way ahead of everybody on this one. So.
No, I mean, I agree. I mean, I haven't played a hockey game since, I've been playing NHL 2K5, but I haven't really played it like that until I started getting into NHL 18. And once I played that, I just know that, I've learned so much about hockey playing that game than I've ever learned that, I mean, I knew about football, but you go into Madden to show you how to run, like, certain plays in the skills trainer. But they don't. They'll show you what gap is what, but they don't go in depth like NHL does. NHL has the jargon, They have the reasons why things happen. They'll tell you what to do, what not to do. Madden is just do this, and this, and you'll get a grade. You know, there would NHL will tell you do this, and this, and this, and the reason why you got a certain grade. I mean, that's how you learn. You don't learn just like, okay, if I keep doing this, I'm going to get a silver or a bronze or a gold. No, you're going to get an A, B, C, or D just because you did this, and this. You know, that's how you learn. Pooh, you okay up there?
I'm good. That's not on me.
Oh, that was me. I hit my hand on something.
I think you need to put down that drink. So Pooh.
That drink been put down.
So Pooh, what
sitting in my stomach right now.
What's your last thoughts about this? You think it should, you think basically what we were saying, or you got anything else to add?
No, pretty much. You're spot on. Oh, one NHL tip. If you're new, like me and VF is, don't be ashamed to tone the difficulty down and get used to the game. Don't be ashamed.
No, you shouldn't.
Even on football, do the same thing if you have to. If you're trying to learn football, if you're trying to learn the game, get used to the game. You don't have to play on All Pro.
No.
Start out easy first.
Yeah. Start out on the lowest level. Like, let me tell you, when Madden 2001, Madden 2002 came out, playing that game on All Madden was a bitch. I mean, you could not beat that game. It took me a while to start with Pro and All Pro until I moved up. And I mean, to this day, All Madden still cheats you, but I mean, if you got to find that balance to work out for you, whether it be just pro with sliders or pro stock. I mean, whatever works for you, who cares? You're the only one playing the game at the time. So I don't know. What else we was going to get into? I know I kind of lost track of the titles.
We was going to get into
I know
we're going to get into some other games. If not, we were going to get into sports.
Oh, yeah.
I know we're going to talk about Operation Sports. I know we're going to talk about that.
Oh, yeah. But let me make this admission about Red Dead Redemption 2. Because that was one of the things that, VF, I know you had said that a lot of people, when it comes to like what's wrong with the game, that people don't want to talk about. That input lag, yeah.
I told
That's
you,
bad.
man.
It's bad.
That input lag. I had to go back and play, and it was just like, because I seen a YouTube video where they tested it out, and it was just like, yo, that's crazy. And it's just like, for there to be input lag on something that they already messed up on HDR, and it's just like, yo, like, are they gonna even address it? The input lag and the HDR?
Here's one other thing that you're probably not touching on. This only happens to me when either I'm walking or when I'm at the camp. Is every time I try to walk to a certain place, the character will purposely slow up, and it's like you have to press X or some shit like that just to speed up. I really, really hate that.
The camp, the camp doesn't allow you to walk faster than like a medium pace walk.
Yeah, you have to walk.
People have complained about the fact that they can't run or whatever in the camp. It is annoying.
Yeah, you have to walk. I think the controls, I mean, I've been playing games for a long time. The controls are not a big issue to me. Just have to get used to them. Because, see, I've been playing on my 4K monitor. So ever since I've been playing on my 4K monitor, I have not gone back to play on my 4K TV. Because I felt the difference of response time and input lag. I was like, yo, this is great. I'll never go back to play on the TV. But when I was playing on Red Dead, I was like, yo, the input lag is so bad. It's like I have to literally like telegraph some of my moves at times. And I'm used to it now, but when I first got the game, a lot of people were saying that it was this, it was that. And I was like, yo, the game's great. I'm not disagreeing, but there's problems in the game. And one of the main ones is like the movement. That's the main thing you do in the game is move. So you're going to notice it, So that was just my issue with it. It's not to take it away like, oh, the game's trash, but we're not going to, we're not going to sit here and just like, get away. It's kind of like how it was in Madden 15. Madden 15, everybody talk about that game was great or whatever, but there was literally no tackling in that game. Everybody just ran into each other and fell over. Nobody wrapped up tackled in that game. And it's like everybody was talking about how well the DBs were playing and the AI was this. Yo, when you first play Madden, you kick the ball off. What's the first thing you'll see? People running into each other. You're not going to tell me you don't see all these people falling over crazy in Madden 15? It's the same thing. You see all this other stuff, but the basic thing about the game is it has an issue. I'm not taking away. I'm going to play it. I'm going to finish the game. I think the game is great. But I think that's, like you said, I think it's something that they need to address. Speaking of addressing the game, Battlefield 5 is coming out. Anybody on that yet?
I'll be on it in probably December when the price drops because I have too many questions on that game.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna wait on it too. I got it
on Access. I got it on Access on PC Origin Access. I got it downloaded. I just haven't started it yet. Something is telling me that something ain't right about this game.
I haven't been excited about this game for a while, so me either. To me, it's whatever. They need to move on to a modern day shooter.
Not even that. I mean, like they really got away from it because they felt like they made too many modern day shooters. I'm like, okay, that's fine. But take your ass to Vietnam. At least.
I wouldn't go to Vietnam.
Nah, but Pooh, you gotta understand, me and DJ is a little bit older than you. We've been through World War II. We've been to Vietnam with Black Ops.
Not literally, folks. Not literally.
Not literally, but we played the World War II games with Call of Duty 2 and World at War. And we played Vietnam. What was that? Which Black Ops was that?
Bad Company.
Black Ops and Bad Company. So
Bad Company.
Yeah,
Bad Company too.
Yeah, we've been to those areas. It's like now it's like with Modern Warfare when those came out, those were cool. Call of Duty 4 was nice. The other ones was cool, but nothing was. And Battlefield 3 almost got us there. We were playing Battlefield 3, it was like almost there. But when Battlefield 4 came, it was like, yo, this is what it is. This is what we need. And it's like to this day, like Battlefield 4 is somewhat still the standard for shooters this console generation.
Hey, look, man, I already said it on Twitter.
It's funny because it's like the first game that came out on the console.
I already said it on Twitter, bro. I said, look, until further notice, EA is still chasing their predecessor. They're still chasing their predecessor. They're still chasing Battlefield 4. That's some crazy shit. Hell, if anything, you might as well say EA right now.
That game is so nice, man.
EA, DICE still chasing Battlefield 4. EA Sports still chasing what? Madden, 25, some shit like that.
I'm not gonna lie though. I'm not gonna lie.
They're still chasing these previous games. It's like, what the fuck?
I'm not gonna
Why
lie.
you go away from work?
I'm not gonna lie. Madden 25 is nice, but I've been playing, because with the Coach Glass, I've been trying to figure out how the hell to get that app back up and running. Coach Glass works with Madden today if you have the PS4 second screen. I've been playing Madden 18, and Madden 18 actually was not a bad Madden. That wasn't a bad game. It was actually pretty good.
It's not that it was bad. I just hate the fact that there was no bounce when you was doing jump balls. There's still no bounce when you're doing jump balls.
No, there's not. I think the only thing what killed Madden 18 was the passing. When they had that total control passing was like counterintuitive, and they got rid of the high-low passes.
It was so bad.
The high-low passes from Madden 16 to 17, that was like one of the best things they've done. The high-low passes was cool. But with 18, they kind of got rid of them. But I think the game is all right. 18 is not that bad.
Oh, no. They kept that.
No, what you talking about?
18, they kept that with the high-low passing.
No, they didn't.
It was just harder to do.
No, high-low passing is still in there. It's just not. It's done the way it was. I think when 17 did it. Because 18 did it with the they had an extra button press with the high-low passing.
Oh yeah, because you have to hold it.
They brought it back to the simpler method.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's what it was.
I'm about to say, either way, it's like.
I don't know, man.
I still feel like they're chasing these games. EA's chasing their previous games. Activision doing the same shit with Call of Duty. I still feel like they're chasing fucking Black Ops 1. That's just me. Hell, arguably Black Ops 2. Everybody loves that one.
The one
I don't even like Black Ops 4.
1 and 2 is nice. Four multiplayer is okay. Four is a step up. I will say. I actually like Black Ops 4. Black Ops 3, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, basically.
All right, before we get into these NFL topics, we're going to talk about we're going to talk about our teams, and we're going to talk about a few things that interest us. One of the great websites in sports gaming has been sold. So it's sold to Enthusiast Gaming. Operation Sports is no longer owned by who owned it? What's it? Steve Noah?
Yep.
Yeah, it's been sold to Enthusiast Gaming. He'll be working for them. He said nothing has changed. Basically, he had a full-time. Man, I'm surprised that he had a full-time job and doing this. That's a lot.
That's dedication, right?
Yeah,
there.
you have a full-time job and you're running a website like Operation Sports. That's a lot.
Well, not just a website. That basically was a business because it was Operation Sports LLC.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But not only that, it's like this is not just like some regular old website. A lot of people looked at this website as like the sports gaming website to go to. And I have numbers for how much he got it for. Okay, go ahead, run with it.
Hold up. Okay, so as consideration for the acquired, I'm reading it from Enthusiast Gaming press release.
Okay.
As consideration for the acquired assets, Enthusiast Gaming Incorporated will pay at closing an initial amount of $250,000, which is 335 Canadian, and let's see, 117,924 common shares in the capital company. In addition, Operation Sports will receive earn-out payments for 2 years following the completion of the acquisition, which is expected to raise its whole purchase price to $1 million based on performance milestones.
Okay. So like Steve Noah got Steve Noah, that's his name, right?
So yeah. just to be gobbled up by Enthusiast Gaming, make a lot of money off of this.
Yeah, and he's still working for him. So I mean,
that's what I'm saying. To be devoured by them and now get paid by them. So it's just like
it's a win-win for him easily. But on the back end of it, nothing's really changing. So you can still go to operationsports.com. You can still get all of your information from there as far as sports gaming. At the end of the day, I mean, the status quo.
The main thing. The main thing is that they're gonna have more people working on the website. They're gonna have more of a backing now. So you'll probably see. I'm like, they already went through a revamp as far as their website operations was earlier this year.
Yeah, they did.
So you could probably see more regular maintenance. Of course, Steve is gonna work on the website and continue to bring you that content that they've always brought. So it's one of those things where I'm like, the sports community is now a part of this Enthusiast Gaming, which their strategy was outreach with this acquisition. So now they can branch out into the sports community. So now I think we still have Operation Sports, but we also have Enthusiast Gaming to also expand our own reach as a community into other games that they may be showcasing on their site.
I mean, let's be honest. You think people from from the sports gaming community, you think they're going to actually go over and play other games?
Well, if you think about it, it's a Canadian company, so we already know that the NHL, the FIFAs, and all the other games that, like, especially with EA Canada, are probably going to be thrown out there a little bit more. So,
that'll be interesting to see. What do you think, Pooh?
I mean, there's not much else I can think of. I mean, as long as the website's still up there's nothing changed, and there's not much we have to talk about. That man made his money. The website's still up. Everything's all good.
Yeah, short and simple. That's kind of I think he got a good come up off of that. He got a good come up, and he's still on the back end, still working. So it's a win-win for him.
You can still get your rosters.
Yeah,
That's all
that's
that
it.
matters.
I mean, yeah, the website's still there for us to use if we want to get updated rosters on certain games or just get information in general. So I think it works out for everybody at the end of the day. And like you said, DJ, it expands to other things, and that's what we're trying to do here at First and Framerates. Not only just talk about sports gaming, we talk about gaming in general. So whatever they're doing on their end, we can go look into what they're doing, and we can report back and talk about what they're doing on that end.
Yeah, because I know this podcast started out roasting people, but we're definitely trying to move away from roasting people.
Hey, but somebody
matters.
Hey, listen, somebody had to get it. Somebody had to get it this week, though. Last week, somebody had to get it, though. Somebody had to get it because they listen. How could you be so bad at Madden, but you're good at Mutant League football, and you think you're a sim guy?
Pull the card. Pull the card.
I don't even know why the card was ever given to him, but anyway, let's talk about some NFL, man. Me and Pooh caught some L's this week. I caught the worst of it though. Never in a million years I'd have thought that we'd have lost to the Cleveland Browns. That was horrible.
Damn, I don't think God would have thought that the. I don't think God would have thought that the Browns would beat the Falcons.
It ain't exactly. It ain't no excuse. There's no damage control and none of this. I'm so disappointed in this team on the way they played this past Sunday. I don't have nothing. I really don't. Absolutely. Injuries, yeah, we don't have our safeties, whatever, but no, you don't lose like this to the Cleveland Browns. You lose on the last second field goal. Okay, I get it. You lose in overtime. I get it. But for the most part, Cleveland ran over Atlanta pretty much the entire game. And then at the 4th and 1, you got Matt Ryan in the shotgun. Sark play calling just fell apart all over again. What are you doing in the shotgun on a 4th and goal? At the 1. I ain't got nothing else to say, man. Pooh, your team lost to the Dallas Cowboys. How you feel about that?
They had no business losing that game in the first place. I mean, look, I could point around so many blames right now. Look, it's almost the same thing for what you just said about Sark. I could say the same thing about Doug Peterson, and I could definitely say the same thing about Jim Schwartz' stupid ass. Let me get to Peterson first, because Jim Schwartz, I got a hell of a lot stored up for what I want to say about him. First off, when it goes to Doug Peterson, why the fuck are you calling a screenplay on 3rd and 2? Damn near at the end of the game, 3rd and 2, you gonna call a screenplay? Not even gonna talk about that. It hurts that we lost our right tackle. We lost our right tackle. That hurts. That shouldn't have stopped you.
It could be worse, man. You could have ran a pitch play on 3rd and 2.
But
like the Falcons do.
But even at least that's one thing Peterson got correct, was to not run a fucking pitch play. Our running backs are fucked up. But even then, this still reverts to my point. The best running back you got on your team, you constantly put on the bench. Why is Josh Adams not getting enough touches? Instead, you're sitting up there giving it to this bum called Wendell Smallwood, constantly getting more of the touches than anyone else in the team. So it's like, I don't understand how the fuck he even gets through the preseason.
Hey man, both our teams are 4-5, man.
But another thing is, you bring in Golden Tate. You bring him in. He don't get a lot of catches. He only got one touch through a fucking trick play, shit like that. You bring him in, you don't even use him right.
But we've been talking about this last week though. We talked Golden Tate is not the savior, yo. Sometimes he's a number 2, sometimes he's a number 1, sometimes he don't know what he is. So it's like, it's good to have him on your team.
So to use him, the lack of using him for as much as Pearson did, that's unacceptable at all.
Well, you gotta also look at the fact that you just got the man. Calm down.
No, man, fuck out of here. They had plus the bye week.
Pooh, calm down. First of all, he has to get more practices under.
We lost $1 fuck out of here.
Well, you lost $1. That's not my fault. Your team sucks anyway. But I'm just saying the more you practice with a new team and the more plays they can practice with them, they feel they have to get comfortable with them first. You can't just instantly put him in and think, oh, he's going to be able to do all this that he was able to do at his last place. I'm like, he has to get adjusted to the system. I'm like, I know this from my playing days. It's one of those things where, like, you get adjusted to a new system.
You got to get acclimated.
route depth, all that. You
Yeah,
have to adjust all.
you got to get acclimated with the team. That's true.
Right.
Well, I mean,
Golden Tate will be just fine.
yeah, my thing is,
but
thing is, like I was saying earlier, I don't think his expectations should be too high on Golden Tate. He's not a bad player, but
right.
when you want him to be a number one, he will be a number two. When you want him to be a number two, he'll act like a number one.
And plus, at the same time, you still got what's the name as your number one?
Yeah, Alshon Jeffrey.
Yeah, you got Alshon Jeffrey. You got Nelson Aguilar. I'm like, you got weapons. Zach Ertz.
And I get that, but here's the thing: is that teams are starting to know this now. I mean, in fact, I'm pretty sure they've been knew this, but last year,
Man,
Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz is going to get the ball a lot.
Come on, Pooh.
We know this.
Let's be real, Pooh. As soon as y'all held up that Lombardi trophy last year, your team had a bullseye on the back. I mean, that's just how it is.
But that's the case with every other team. But still, it's like,
this is what happens when you win the Super Bowl for the first time. You're shocked at how teams come after you this time versus they took you guys. I look at it like this. Last year, a lot of people took the Eagles as a joke. Oh, they're gonna falter, especially when Carson Wentz went down. When they got to the Super Bowl, and then they basically embarrassed the New England Patriots, even though it wasn't embarrassing by the score, it was embarrassing by the fact that
what the hell happened on the field? Yeah,
right. So it's just like now it's just like, oh, that's the Super Bowl champions, that's the Eagles.
You're going to play
them a little harder. It's just
that's just how it is.
That's what happens when you are the defending champions. Teams know about you now.
In other words,
you're from out the shadows.
Look what happened.
But at the same time, this is where I also have to get at with this. This is why I said I wanted to get at Jim Schwartz. Everybody knew how that defense was being run by Jim Schwartz last year. And it didn't take till now when we're Super Bowl champions for everybody to catch on.
That's how it is.
Shitty his defense is. I knew this when it went to the Giants game. I said, "Yo, what the fuck?"
Completely changed the defense, though.
New
England never completely changed their defense. They won multiple Super Bowls. So what's the excuse?
And to be honest with you, they didn't change their scheme. They changed players.
Right.
But you got to understand this, Pooh. Like, that's just the nature of it. Look at the Ravens when they won the Super Bowl in 2012. Everybody went after them then. When Peyton Manning and them won the Super Bowl that one year, and everybody went after the Super Bowl champs after that. I mean, look at Seattle, the same thing. They went after the Legion of Boom. You're going to get your best. Every team's going to give you their best shot every single time once you put up that trophy. That's just how it is.
Right, that's what the Capitals are going through in hockey.
No, I'm about to say,
every
that's
team
just not,
is
that's
like,
just not
I'm
in the
playing
NFL.
You the hardest because you're the defending champion.
Yeah, that's just not in the NFL. That goes in the NBA. That goes in the NHL. That goes in the MLB. That's just how it is. Once you put that trophy up and you show everybody you're the champs, the following year, everybody's gonna give you their best shot. That's just how it is.
And Pooh, just to let you know, I've seen this happen 3 times with my team. That's the way it goes.
I get that, but Jim Schwartz is still not safe. I'm sorry.
Oh, God.
Even on a Super Bowl, I'm sorry. Nah, bro. Even on a Super Bowl year, like, yo, I'll say this to my dying breath. If it wasn't for that fucking D-line, he wouldn't have a championship. Point blank, period.
But I mean, you got to understand.
Because the linebackers average at best in the straight shitty.
But nobody likes you Philly fans. Because y'all can't appreciate shit.
It's true. It's true, though. Jeez. Am I wrong?
It may be the truth, but y'all gotta appreciate the fact that he got y'all in position to win a championship because he was able to coach that team up.
That's why it's so hard to win back to back. Look at the Green Bay Packers. They won that one year. They haven't been the same since. You can talk all you want about Aaron Rodgers. Yes, he's been a phenomenal quarterback. And ever since he came, well, I ain't gonna say ever since he came in the league, but ever since he caught his stride and they won that Super Bowl. But they haven't been the same team since because they knew that Aaron Rodgers is going to get his, but we're going to attack the shit out of that defense all the time. I mean, that's just how it is. Once you win that Super Bowl, they're going to find your weakness and you're going to get their best shot all the time. That's just how it is. DJ, you're the only team that won this week. What you think about your team?
And you're also the only team that didn't give up a touchdown this week.
I see that. 16-3 beat up on Tampa Bay.
all the
Yeah.
Buccaneers had to do was literally fucking score, and they couldn't do that. That's all they had to do.
Because the Buccaneers, like I had a discussion with another Twitter follower, a Redskin fan, about the fact that he was calling them our whole ass defense, and I was just like, our whole ass defense ain't giving up any points, and it's just one of those things where the Buccaneers, they had what they had, they finished with like 500 something total offensive yards and only 3 points. That is the first time in NFL history that has ever happened.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. Yeah, I'm looking at.
I'm like,
now.
So I remember last year we were arguing about beautiful stats when it came to our quarterback throwing for like how many yards and he only had but so many touchdowns. And this is the same exact stat except on our defense. Yeah, we gave up a lot of yards, but they didn't score. And we scored enough to win, but our weakness right now definitely is our offense. I'm like, we need to find some way to put Alex Smith in a better position to make better plays from the quarterback position. I just believe that right now, Jay Gruden's biggest weakness, I've said this over and over again, is play calling. I'm like, he gets stuck in a certain mode of play calling. He doesn't adjust. I'm like, the team overall, play calling, coaching-wise, do not know how to make adjustments. But also an interesting fact here, the Redskins are the only team in the league that has never participated in a lead change. If the Redskins scored first, we've won that game. In the 6 games that we've won so far,
oh wow,
if we've been ahead, we stayed ahead. 3 games we lost, the other team scored first, we never came back from behind.
That's interesting. That's a pretty interesting stat.
So it's one of those things where, don't let us score first. We got the defense to shut people down.
Right.
So this is like beyond 90s ball. This is like 80s NFL with the Redskins, but barely existing offense. This is kind of like a throwback to the 2000 Ravens, if you think about it.
It's going to be very interesting considering how you guys are going to go about it in your later games, most likely playoffs, because you're going to go up against those tougher teams. You're going to go up against the Saints. You're going to go up against the Falcons.
Yep.
And it's going well, not the Falcons.
I'm
sorry, the Panthers. I'm sorry, the Panthers. Eventually, the Rams are going to be like, damn. Well, how you going to do from there? I mean,
man, let me tell you, man. That's
the L's that y'all have taken.
I mean, that's just the nature of that's just the nature of the NFL. But you never know what may happen, man. I mean, you say this now, but I mean, once week 11, week 12, or I ain't gonna say week 11, week 16 comes, you don't know who the hot team's gonna be. I mean, just how somebody can go on a 6-game win streak now, they can go on a 6-game losing streak later, or they can go, or that another team can go on another 6-game win streak around week 16 and win the whole damn thing. You just never know. I mean, just because you see the Saints, the Rams, the Chiefs, they're hot right now, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're automatically going to the Super Bowl. You just don't know. But I'll tell you one thing, whatever happened with Atlanta this past week with these goddamn Browns, I don't see them going. There's no coming back from that. I'm sorry.
Honestly,
no.
I slightly agree with you, because when you look at the not just with the Falcons, the Eagles too. Dude, you look at their schedule they have coming up, it is not going to to be fucking easy.
No,
you have the Saints coming up after that.
See, that's what I'm
you
saying.
have us twice.
Yeah,
exactly.
But that's what I'm saying, though. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what you have coming up.
Then you have the Rams.
You never know what might happen later on in the season. I'm not saying that y'all going to get annihilated every game. You just don't know. But this bullshit that happened with the Falcons, look, dog, they lost to the Browns. There's no coming back from that, in my opinion. I personally, I think their season is over. That's the way I feel right now. The way they played, they just feel like they just been defeated. Now they played Dallas this Sunday. I don't know, bro. It was just so demoralizing to lose to that team in that fashion. I just have no faith in my team right now. I'm looking for the first draft pick of next year. It was just that bad, man. I'm sorry, man. People may think the Cleveland Browns, man. Yeah, people can talk about, they look good. They got Nick Chubb. They got Baker Mayfield. But no, you're not supposed to lose like that. Like I said, if it was a field goal or an overtime, all right, No, they got dominated, man. They're gonna have to show me something. But right now, to me, the season's over, bro. I just can't. I'm so demoralized about that. I can't believe they played that sorry.
Well, this is what I do now, man. Next in the all season with the draft is going to be very, very interesting. Considering it's going to be very defense heavy though. But we'll talk about the draft way, way later till then. I actually do want to talk about this upcoming what was it, Monday night game? What you got? The fucking what was it? The Chiefs and the Saints?
No, the
Chiefs and Rams.
Chiefs and Rams are playing. I don't know who to pick, man. I'm be honest with you. I don't know. What about you, DJ?
I'm picking the Chiefs. I'm picking the Chiefs.
Let me look at it.
So
you got one team that's in Missouri, and the other team used to be in Missouri.
Patrick Mahomes about to shred y'all alive. About to shred them alive.
I think the Rams will take that game.
You think
because
so?
if you think about it, Mahomes probably a little distracted. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I really haven't been reading about what's been going on because I remember he wasn't available for any questions after the game.
His girlfriend's, I think, stepfather or father
his girlfriend's
died.
stepfather passed away.
So I'm like, I don't know how you can be more inspired than the way he is now, but I'm like, I can see it working in reverse where he may be a little bit distracted.
Pat Mahomes thrown 7 picks so far this season. That's a little bit high. The way they were talking about this kid, I didn't think he threw that many interceptions.
Well, he started out high. It's just recently he's kind of come down to earth.
Okay, that's what it is. Because he was like, they were saying he was like on fire. If anything, I would have thought he thrown like 4 or maybe 3. I didn't know he threw 7. That's a lot. Oh, personally, I think I could say the Rams probably win because of that front 7. The Rams defense is slightly better than the Chiefs. So I give them the nod. That front 7 can probably give Mahomes some trouble, but Mahomes is Mahomes, so he may shred him though. But I'll say it's a shootout. I'll probably give the Rams the nod, but I can't definitively say.
But you know what?
The playoff race shaping up.
But you know what? I'm looking at I'm looking at Pat Mahomes' stats. I'll take those 7 interceptions as long as he keeps it adding on to them 31 touchdowns. I don't see Kirk Cousins. Well, let me check out Kirk Cousins' stats.
That reminds me, the Vikings are bad. They're bad.
They kind of fell off, bro. Didn't they have a bye week this week?
Supposed to be just as good this year too.
Yeah, right now Kirk Cousins sitting at 17 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. You mean to tell me that the Vikings paid all that money and this man can't put up like. I want to see what he finishes with as far as yards compared to touchdowns. Because we had this issue a couple of years ago when he threw 29 touchdown passes, and he couldn't get over that 30 touchdown pass mark. Even though he broke like 4,000. What was it? 4,000 yards. Let me just go to his individual. It won't let me go to his.
Yeah, I think
he broke the 5,000. I think he broke the 5,000 yard mark one year. But it was just like, but you only threw 25 touchdowns. I'm like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I agree.
It is what it is.
Yeah, I don't have anything else to add. You got anything, Pooh, before we close it out? Because we're at the hour mark.
Yeah, it's about the playoffs. Who think gonna win the Super Bowl now?
I can't.
I'm not. It's a little too.
I mean, like I said,
I know it's early,
definitely not going to be the Eagles.
But this playoff race is shaping up. I know it's early, but the playoff race is shaping up to be good.
No, but like I said though, man, you never know, man. The like right now, the Saints on an 8-game winning streak, but you never know at the end of the season who may get hot and end up they being on a 7 or 6 game winning streak and just run through the playoffs. You just never know. I mean, especially with some of these teams right now, some of these teams are scary good if they just get a little bit of momentum. I mean, like, and I hate to say it, the Chicago Bears. Now, a lot of people don't even see what you're saying right there. They're 6-3. They're 6-3 right now. You never know what might happen if Khalil Mack and that defense gets nasty. You don't know what might happen with any of these teams around week 16. And these dudes get like a wild. All it takes is them to get in the wild card game, and they decide to like, yo, they get a little bit of confidence and they beat a team on the road in a wild card. You don't know. That's one team you may not want to fuck with. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that it'll happen, but you got to take those things into consideration. I mean, that defense the Bears has is something serious. No joke. That's just an example.
And to tell you the truth, the one team that's ripe for being upset at home are the Washington Redskins, because we don't play well at home. And I said that before the Falcons game, and they got their ass whooped.
No, Carolina's another one too. If I'll put it like this: if they're hosting a wild card game and they play a team like Chicago, that's almost damn near a toss up. You don't know what might happen. So it's like, who's going to be the Super Bowl champs? Who's to say? The last
it depends on Cam Newton, though. Depends on Cam Newton.
Oh, I'm not even going to go there. I'm not even going there.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, you're not going to go there. I fucking will.
Like I said, I'll put it like, just for an example, I'm not caping for this team. I'll say it again. I'm not caping for them. You do not want to deal with the Khalil Mack high confidence defense in the playoffs. That's just an example of what might happen later on in the season. Like I said, they're 6-3. They're top of NFC North, and the way things looking in the NFC North, I don't think nobody's going to knock them off. So they may end up winning that division. So I mean, that's just my opinion about one team that could do something.
Well, you, DJ.
Yeah, what about you, DJ? You got anything before we close it out?
Well, I just look at it like this, just to go back on the playoffs. Going back to the Redskins again, as of right now, between them and the Rams, as far as defense, those are your top two in the NFC as far as the defense is concerned. So I would definitely look out for those two. Possibly, let's see, is it possible that they would meet in the division title game? It looks like it is possible that they could be on a collision course with their former offensive coordinator. If these standings were to hold, that would be interesting. But also, they could possibly wind up facing the Vikings and their former quarterback. The NFC is just interesting altogether.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. I mean,
if anything, I argue say the AFC is just as interesting, considering the Patriots are not as good this year as many people may be led on to believe. I mean, yeah, they did beat the Chiefs. But at the same time, they also just got waxed by the Titans, so it's so weird with them right now.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Atlanta one game at a time, man. They play Dallas, but I don't see it, man. I see 7-9, man. I ain't got nothing to say about them, man. Anyway, this is the First and Framerates podcast. We're going to close it out with that. I really enjoyed you guys, and I enjoy all our listeners who've been coming through, listening to us. Like I said, you can always find us on SoundCloud. You can find us on iTunes. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us anywhere on those areas. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this podcast. Always willing to come out with the best content possible. Anything you want to say before we close out, DJ?
You know what else $2 million could do?
Oh, God.
Uh-oh.
It can make this podcast go international.
Hey, man, we could be up with the good wrestling podcast, the good football podcast that we be seeing with that kind of money, man.
Shout out to IMV Trash. What about you? Pooh?
Stay listening. Stay listening to the podcast, and we do this because we want to do this. We're not getting paid for this.
Wait a minute, Pooh, we.
Yeah, I'm about to say, right?
Wait, who are you?
He's a guest.
I'm just a guest.
Yeah, I was about to say, we talking about we.
I'm just here so I don't get fined. Don't mind.
Yeah, please. Just.
I could say we. I mean, but y'all lucky that I got.
No, you're here today. You probably won't be here next week.
Yeah, you're right. I most likely won't be here next week. I got a streaming schedule to keep up. It was fun.
Man. I got a schedule to keep up too, but it'd be nice to get at least Bill's in here and get the four of us.
Yeah.
So
look, I was asking that before we started, fam. I'm like, come on, man.
We're trying to get other folks to be on here. Wakia.
I'm
But,
I'm playing.
Not even gonna mess with it in Wakia, man. He already know the deal. He already know. I ain't even gonna mess with him. Need to bring his ass on the show though.
Yeah, too many people being marks out here.
All right, man. We're gonna close it out, man. Y'all boys be good, and thanks for listening. You guys take care. Peace.
Peace.